Hello everyone, welcome to Tactica Imperialis and to today's video. Today is episode 48 of Adeptus Podcastus. Joining me as always is Remleiz from 40k Theories.
Hello everyone.
And our special guest today is someone that I doubt many of you were expecting. So the Adeptus Podcastus family is a little larger than perhaps some of you might have thought, but every family has that sort of one person who just sort of knows everything but nobody knows who they are. You know that sort of person? So what we've decided to do is take the fourth wall that we've decided to break before and chuck that out and get the host and creator of Adeptus Animaticus, the Adeptus Podcastus animated series, to come and join us on the podcast. Ladies, gentlemen, and zealots of all ages, I give you Maverick Andre.
Holy crap, what a goddamn intro.
That one I didn't even plan.
I thought you were just gonna be like, yeah, we have our animator here. You might not know him, but he's here. And then like, holy crap.
So yes, for those of you who have not come across Andre's work, about 7 to 9 months ago, I can't even keep track anymore, a series of animated shorts from Adeptus Podcastus moments started appearing on the YouTubes, and well, they were hilarious. So thank you very much for that. We had no idea it was happening. It just started happening, and it was brilliant. So
Indeed.
We got in touch, and now they're on the show. It's all good.
I honestly have no reason to why I started it.
Well, we're not complaining.
Bloody hell, no, we're not complaining.
Thank God.
But yes.
So, in the news this week,
Yeah, we'll start at the top and work backwards because there's been a rather large reveal at the last couple of days. We're recording this on the 6th of July, just for those keeping track. And the first thing to come up, of course, is Kill Team.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, I don't know. No, go ahead.
So Kill Team is kind of 40k's answer to Age of Sigmar, Skirmish, Shadespire, that sort of thing. They've actually got the Shadespire team in to work on the rules. It is a squad-sized, individual model-based skirmish game with heavy customization, branching skill trees for narrative, 3 ways to play, lots of strategy and tactics, alternating activations, and generally lots of quick, short, on-the-go action. The board size is about a quarter of a realm of battle board, and on launch, there will be 16 factions. Sisters and Inquisition are notable by their absence. Sisters are understandable, Inquisition not so much. We're also getting special terrain box sets to go along with this, simply because terrain is so fundamental, it plays such a huge role in the game, according to the initial article. So if you're someone who needs to get terrain, then, well, it's now going to be easier to do that. And they're repackaging and redoing the main Imperial Ruins set to go along with Sector Mechanicus. It's called Sector Imperialis. Yes, it is.
Now, my main question is, what's this going to do to distinguish itself from Shadow War Armageddon?
To be fair, Kill Team and skirmish games in 40k have had a bit of a patchy history. Kill Team was a thing... The first time I remember it was back in 4th edition. There was a Kill Team game mode within 4th edition's core rulebook. It then sort of died for a couple of editions, and there wasn't really a thing in 5th or 6th. And then in 7th, they introduced both Kill Team, which was squad-based with only one squad, and then Shadow War Armageddon, which was seen by some as the sort of precursor to Necromunda when that was redone.
Well, it was, let's be honest.
Well,
I mean,
yes.
Shadow War Armageddon came out, and less than 6 months later, Necromunda comes out. I think
Agreed.
it just is to say, it's like, hey, I wonder if people will be interested in a Necromunda game coming out. Let's just tease them with this. Oh, they seem interested. Necromunda's been announced, Shadow War's completely dropped.
I'll admit, Shadow War, we tried it once, me and my gaming group, and none of us liked it. We tried it, we all dropped it. I've heard it did better stateside than over in the UK, but it just did not take off with us.
Oh, sorry, carry on.
I don't want to believe Shadow War Armageddon was good on this side, because the 2 gaming stores that I live by did nothing by it, and one's an official Games Workshop, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, it just seemed to have been, here's a thing, we're just going to let it die now.
Yeah. No, like for the Games Workshop, it was actually, kind of weird, because it came out, they sold, 3 copies, and then they never touched on it. They had no events, they had nothing. So it's like, why?
It reminds me when Gorka Morka was launched over here initially back in 1997, back in the on days. There was like a huge initial push for Gorka Morka, and then it just died really quickly, even though it did have an expansion set released for it, the Diganob one. Which is a shame, because Gorka Morka was an amazing game. It's basically, you know, the whole thing that gave birth to the whole Mad Max-style orcs.
It's fun, though, because Gorka Morka had one big push and was unsupported, but it's still remembered. It's still... I know it's obviously 20 years on now, but there is nostalgia for Gorka Morka. It was so well pushed and well built initially.
It was a great game. It was really fun, and the weirdest thing was there was also going to be a Dreamcast video game of Gorka Morka.
Oh, yes, I've heard about that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it was going to have a video game.
Okay, so oh, my bad. Should I keep going?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, no, that game is technically older than me, and so all I hear ever is the hype around it. So it's like, whenever you say like, yeah, it was going to come out for the Dreamcast, I'm just like, what the fuck? We barely even got the Space Marine game going.
Yeah, I mean, Gorka Morka is at most 12 months younger than me. So it's one of those things. It's like,
you young whippersnappers, get off my lawn.
Yes, Dad.
It's like 2 years older than me.
Jesus.
Jeez Louise, now even I feel old.
I remember going to the Games Day Golden Demon event in 1996. This is where they previewed Gorka Morka initially, like, because there was a section where models were being, you know, being made and cast, and if you went through the tour, you actually got a sprue, and I got about 4 sprues of the Gorka Morka Orc boys. But they were also showing like prototypes for 40k based video games, and one of the ones they were showing was a Necromunda first-person shooter, and I've not been able to find any footage of that since, which is a shame, because it looked awesome. It was like, you know, I think it was based on the Quake engine or something like that, but...
Yeah, it'd have to be sort of a run-and-gun, very fast-paced combat.
It was, yeah, from what I saw, and it looked like it had like team-based multiplayer and stuff as well, so...
Yeah, makes sense.
Which is a shame, because I think that would have been a perfect game to release on PC, like a Necromunda first-person shooter game.
To be fair, I'm amazed we've never had a Necromunda video game.
Well, we're getting one coming out.
Oh yeah, sorry, I can't keep up with all the video games.
Yeah. I'm a video game person. I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, there's that many hobby games coming out for 40k, and even now with a bit of fantasy and some AOS. So hard to keep up with how many's coming out on top of the models and lore.
And yet we've had about 5 Space Hulks.
And that.
So you had Space Hulk, you had Space Hulk Vengeance of the Blood Angels, you had Space Hulk Deathwing, you had Space Hulk again, you had Space Hulk Ascension, you got Space Hulk Tactics coming out, so that's like, what, 6? 6 Space Hulks?
And then there's the Left 4 Dead one everyone seems to forget.
Isn't that just like...
That's Deathwing.
That's Deathwing, isn't it?
Was that Deathwing?
Yeah.
Or is that Vermintide?
Well, there's that as well, but that's not...
Yeah.
See the problem.
Speaking of Vermintide, it's nothing to do with Vermintide, but I just remembered something else from Games Day 96. Stegodon Racing. There's literally a Stegodon Racing game that one started set up.
Oh dear. Anyway, returning to Kill Team before we go completely before we go completely down to Sidetrackville. So Kill Team is 5 to 10 models per side, and there will be rules 4 as a full set for now, with more to come. They have promised more to come. There will be Space Marines, Death Watch, Grey Knights, Astra Militarum, Mechanicus, Heretic Astartes, Death Guard, Thousand Suns, Craft Welders, Drakari, Harlequins, Necrons, Orcs, Tau, Tyranids, and Genestealer Cults. The starter box, well, Adeptus Mechanicus, what they should say is Skitari. It's entirely Skitari. But the starter box will be a Skitari team and a Genestealer Cult team, which is kind of, maybe that's what the model from... not Warhammer Fest, the other one. The UK Games Expo? I can't remember what it was now. That showed off a Genestealer Cult model. Perhaps it will be in there. Maybe it wasn't such a hint of a Genestealer Cult Codex as we thought. We don't know yet.
Is that the one model you're talking of? Is that the one that looks like Aaron Black from Mortal Kombat X?
I mean, like the aberrant thing that we saw in a preview when they really revealed that all space was They showed off a Gene Stealer cult model.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one that's literally a Gene Stealer cult cowboy with 3 arms and 3 6-shooters and a desperado mask.
What?
Did you not see that?
Fuck?
No.
Okay, on Warhammer TV, they have a video up called Warhammer World is being invaded or infested or whatever, and they actually show that model at the end.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that. Yeah.
Right, I missed that one.
Yeah, it's literally like a 3-armed cowboy Gene Stealer that looks like Aaron Black.
Right. So, they have said with Kill Team as well, they are going to be ongoing support. I'm hoping it gets the sort of support that Shadespire got, because Shadespire has been released with new warbands several times, even got beta rules, proper competitive play at official Games Workshop events. It's been a real big success, Shadespire, and I'm hoping that Kill Team gets the same treatment. If you buy the starter set, you get your core manual, which is your rulebook, and you'll also be available separately. A getting started booklet, a Skitarii team, a Gene Stealer Neophyte team, so that's the shooty dudes, a 22 by 30 custom board, which is double-sided, so that's the sort of size that you're going to be playing on, is 22 by 30, a set of Imperial Ruins, data cards, lore booklets, a tactics deck, because they are introducing stratagems but not quite, and some dice and rulers, because you always get those. The core manual will also be showing off a full set of stuff, some narrative stuff, how to build your teams, customization, and 3 ways to play, open, narrative, and matched. They're really running with that again, and that's going to be into Kill Team, which is good. Mm-hmm. As for terrain, the boards are known as kill zones, don't ask. And if you buy the environment expansions, which are basically terrain boxes, you get a full double-sided board and 8 frames of terrain for less than it would be to buy them all separately. And because these terrain all have unique rules, they have what are called environment cards, unique missions around that specific type of terrain, which will include spaceships, I'm led to believe, eventually. So if you're somebody who doesn't have a lot of terrain for your 40k collection, this is probably a really good way to go about getting some on the cheap and playing a second game on top of it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this because one of my friends is trying to really get into Necrons, and just the price threshold has been holding him back. And I was considering like looking into an old Kill Team or like an old Space Hulk and prices, but no, Kill Team coming back is just it's like I've been I can't talk.
Yeah, it is good for introducing people to getting into the idea of the universe, if not the game, because the game's going to play exceptionally differently with alternating activation. So the you-go-I-go combat system that 40k and Age of Sigmar have is going to be implemented, but in terms of activating units. We don't know exactly how it is. Is like, does one character do everything, then another character on the other side do everything, or is it one side moves and then alternate activate unit? We don't know yet. We're still waiting on that one. In terms of models, you can also buy 2 starter sets out of the releases. So if you get Space Wolves, you can get the Fangs of Ulfric, which is basically 5 Primaris Reavers. Just
and none of them
to look
have
like
a beard. Why does that one with a bear head have no beard? What kind of Space Wolf is he?
Touche. But you don't just get the 5-man team. You get their data cards, you probably get some fluff, you get transfers and all that stuff, but you also get a piece of terrain or 2, which is kind of cool. So again, if you're needing to build an army and want some terrain to go along with it, you can buy this. So for orcs, it's 5 burner boys, which can also be made as looters if you don't like Kill Team. And they might even be able to mix and match in for Kill Team. And then you get the galvanic hauler thingy-mcjibbers, which you can put onto the big cranes, all right? I don't know what they're called. Galvanic servo haulers. There you go. So they come with special rules for them to getting them into the game, or you just use them as terrain in your regular games, and it'll be cheaper than buying it all separately. So getting terrain into your armies might be even easier now, thanks to Kill Team. Even if you don't want to play the main game, there's the Kill Team game, and if you do want to play the Kill Team game, all of them better.
Speaking of games, Monopoly?
Yeah! This was an interesting one that I don't think anybody saw coming, if they're being completely honest with themselves.
No. 40k Monopoly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I'm getting that day one. Well, I want my friends to hate me.
Basically, what this game is, it's an accurate representation of how the Horus Heresy actually started.
Petty politicking.
It's I'm not clever enough to word that joke properly. God damn it.
It makes sense. I mean, to be fair, the bloody behind-the-scenes politicking that goes into the Heresy is kind of silly. But it's interesting how they pitch 40k Monopoly. A no-holds-barred game of ownership filled with ruthless ambition, conquest, and treachery. I mean...
So it is a Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magnus Pass go too fast, you know.
Do not pass
Yes.
go, do not collect £200.
Or in this case, 500 souls.
Now I'm
Yeah,
just thinking, how would they name each like individual thing? Because you know, like whenever they get a special edition, like Indiana Jones or whatever, they name each
Funny enough,
thing.
they did actually reveal the board. Like the jail's
Did they?
called.
Oh, did
Lost
they?
Yeah, like the jail's called Lost in the Warp. I know that. Hang on, let me see if I can find.
Hold up.
Okay.
Well,
According to the article, it says that we reckon it would be good fun to own, to be the overlord of high citizen space stations across the Imperium. So I'm thinking your King's Cross, your oh god, I can't remember my Monopoly board now.
Mayfair.
No, I'm thinking of the stations: King's Cross and Pancras. Oh god, I can't remember the rest of them now. But those will be, I suspect, like Segmentum ports, possibly.
Right, I've just posted the actual Monopoly board in the thing so you can actually see.
Oh, hello.
But yeah, you got Administratum and Perils of the Warp instead of things like Community Chest and
Wow.
all like that.
and it's prison is lost in the warp.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I feel like they could have done something better.
So how it's going to go? So starting from Go, you have the Hermitage, the Administratum, that's Community Chest, I think.
Yeah.
Footfall, Imperial Tithe, that's the bloody income tax. Drixian Traders for the stations. Okay.
A station at least.
Burnscour, Perils of the Warp is Chance. Perfect. The Egenin Dominion, Lost in the Warp, or Gellerfield Stabilized if you are just visiting.
Yep.
Then you have Grace, Adeptus Mechanicus for your electric company. Iniquity, Rain, Orc Freebooters is one of the other stations. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
why
reading
wouldn't you
some-
want some freebooters?
Oh.
Unordered, I can't read this upside down.
yeah.
100 Teeth, I think. Ministratum, Processional of the Damned, Lotman's Death, something like that. And then free parking is Port Wander, so just get off your ship, go for a walk around, free parking, cool. Agesia, Perils of the Warp, Naduesh, Radnata, Kroot Mercenaries for the next station. Conconid, Ilush, the Adeptus Sororitas is your electric company. No, it's the water company, sorry.
Bathe in
I got-
Promethium.
Hang on, there's a pun in there and I can't see it. Orn, Warp Storm, so that's your go to jail card. The Charnel Stars, Zaith, Administratum, Vaporius, Eldar Raiders is your last station. Perils of the Warp, the Fox Corps, the Far Corps Stars, Maintenance and Resupply is your tax, and then to finish, Melbetha is your Mayfair for the simple cost of 400,000 space dollars.
You forgot one. It to start the game, it just says go with a big arrow.
Oh yeah, they just have go.
It's so.
Could have named it Crusade or something.
Yeah,
Could've named it for
could've named it
anything.
Go.
Wow. No, what I should have done, I should have named it Here We Go.
Yes, yes.
I'm kind of underwhelmed because I thought it would look a little bit more prettier.
I mean, it's got to look functional. It's Monopoly, although to be fair, not enough skulls.
Yeah.
Well, that might be the player pieces, though.
Have you seen any other like Monopoly boards?
Yeah,
Apart from the classic, no.
I've seen the Game of Thrones and the Attack on Titan ones, and they look a lot nicer.
Yeah, this looks like they just kind of copy
In fairness,
pasted some
this
text.
might be like a placeholder image or something.
Yeah, we don't know if this isn't like possibly the final copy, so we don't know. Did it give a release date?
Or they're just getting our hopes
in
down.
August.
It says late 2018 is all it says in the article.
There's an article, there's something from a catalogue here with like a SKU code, and it says scheduled to ship in August 2018.
All right.
With a SKU code of MN126581.
I'm sure people can check that if they feel like it.
With USO at the beginning, so I don't know if that means anything, but hey.
But yes.
It's from... That image is from gtsdistribution.com/board game, so I assume it's an official link.
I mean, seems legit, but we'll see.
There's a Skyrim Monopoly. Sorry,
Yeah, there is.
God.
Cthulhu Monopoly. Zelda Monopoly. Oh, God. World of Warcraft Monopoly Collector's Edition.
I saw the Zelda one go for like $120 just for the game of Monopoly.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Or we could also go back to playing Forbidden Stars, which no one ever played.
What is that?
A 40k board game.
Really? Oh, okay.
One that no one ever played.
Oh, this!
What am I looking at?
My game store had a single copy of this, and then I went to go look for it. Literally just nothing but a layer of dust on top. Yeah, this. I don't even know how to play.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah, like I said, no one's played it. There's a lot of 40k board games that no one's played, which now go for stupid amounts of money. Like the Horus Heresy board game that came out like a few years ago, that goes for stupid amounts in the secondary market.
Oh, there'll be someone in the comments who's played it and probably give us a lecture about how it works out with the best game ever. You just know there is.
Funny thing about the Horus Heresy board game, I remember seeing on Twitter when the Black Library authors were teasing about how they had their Siege of Terror meeting, they actually used the game board from the Horus Heresy board game as a reference because it had like it had a model of the Imperial Palace on it and everything.
Nice.
Can someone actually try to tell me how good this game is in the comments?
If anyone's played it.
I'm both interested but also dismissive about that.
Fair enough. Staying with what you might call specialist games, if you are happening to be going to Nova, which I believe starting tomorrow at time of release of this video, they're holding a multi-day narrative event as well as Necromunda tournaments, which is kind of interesting. So it's nice to see that a narrative play thing is going to be at a major event. I know obviously the core games wouldn't suit that style so well unless they wanted to do a grand campaign, but that again wouldn't work so well.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that Necromunda and things like that can be used in a narrative way at tourneys and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Going back a little earlier, Forge World have given us some new rules for their versions of Knights, which is nice. And they're also working on some more nights. There's a Forge World Specialist Games Open Day next month, or this month as it probably is now. It's probably in July.
Oh, and there's also more information about Warhammer Horror.
Oh, yes. So for anyone who thought that they were de-grimdarking the universe, no. Oh, no. Creepy horror stories getting right into the grimdark.
You're getting my hopes up here, Michael.
It's going to be an anthology series, isn't it?
The first thing coming out is an anthology, yes, but I think there's more to it than that.
Yes, because I'm pretty sure. Which author tweeted about? I think it might have been David Geimer, the guy who's doing the Iron Hands series at the moment. Because I think he's got a story in that, and I asked him, "Is it going to be in hardback?" And he was like, "I don't know." He seemed really upset about it. He was like, "I don't know, I can't help." Bless him.
But yes, so some of the stories that are previewed, they've got people like Graham McNeil's involved, David Annandale's involved, and some new people that I don't know. Cassandra Core, Alec Worley might mean something of your horror writers.
Oh, Cassandra Core. I think she did one of the. You know when there was that Necromunda short story thing where you had like a short story every day? I think she did one of them.
Okay.
I think she did the one about an Escher gang. It could be someone else, though. I could be wrong, but off the top of my head, I think she did that one. I think it was called Once a Stim Queen or something like that.
Sounds like an idea. So, just as an example of one of the things that's coming out, there's a story in there called The Wicked and the Damned, which is a misty cemetery world with three strangers drawn together telling uncanny tales of narrow escapes from death. But in a universe of twisted reality and thirsting gods, can they trust even their own recollections? And they're sort of three stories linked together, Josh Reynolds, Bill Kelly, and Ian St. Martin coming together.
Nice.
And there's going to be an audio drama as well, called Perdition's Flame, which is a Vostroyan in penal servitude, mentally scarred by what he has seen, relates his tale in an atmospheric and blood-curdling story that draws on a tradition of audio horror.
Ooh.
Okay. There's even going to be some...
excited about this.
There's even going to be some old fantasy ones.
Ooh, nice.
Well, actually, to be more accurate, they're re-releasing... Well, more accurately, what they're doing is the Drachenfell novel and the series of follow-ups are being redone because originally they were written under a pen name, and now they're going to be redone properly with brand new introductions and stuff.
Nice.
So if you thought that the 40k universe was not grimdark enough,
yeah, because the only 40k novel I've read so far that can be classified really as a horror novel is probably Back from the Dead from the Necromunda series, the one by Nick Kime.
Okay.
Because it's literally about it's literally
you could count the go-to novels for a different reason.
Huh?
You could count the go-to novels just for another reason.
Yeah, let's stop going there.
I was too easy. I'm sorry.
Yes, I mean, the less we talk about jump-pack chaplain dual-wielding multi-melters, the less we talk about that.
God, not again.
We always have to go back.
With the back-flipping Terminators using multi-lasers, of course, as well.
The greatest horror, a transforming Razorback.
So, you get a multi-laser, everyone gets a multi-laser. So speaking of transforming characters, I still remember that one weird issue in the Fulgrim Primarch series novel, where, Fulgrim's doing something, then for a split second he's Fabius Bard, then he's back to Fulgrim again. It's like, hang on, what?
Oh, yeah.
Oops.
It's like, damn it, Josh! You had me thinking this was a weird clone controlled by Fabius. But no, we have to wait for a different book for that.
Yeah. What I will say with Warhammer Horror is it makes my job more annoying because I'm not, but as you might have noticed, I'm not particularly good with Slanesh, Drakari, and it's not my cup of tea. I don't mind it, and I can read it if I have to, but it's not what I like to read. So doing lore reading and research for this sort of content to try and see, because if it's all canon, which it probably is, because it's horror and in 40k, of course it's going to be canon, trying to fit this in with everything else when I don't particularly like reading that style of book, that's going to make my job a little bit.
I mean, in fairness, it can't be as bad as that opening scene in Lucius's novel where he had the mutant deep-throating his sword. That's literally like the first chapter or two. Literally, there's like a mutant who's performing fellatio on his sword. And then Fulgrim just takes the sword out and kills him. It's like, oh, okay. But that book was weird as fuck.
I got that.
No joke. That book is the literary equivalent of an LSD trip.
Dude, people actually like it, because whenever I hear people talk about it, it's not in the greatest opinion.
I mean, I thought it was okay for the most part. I mean, it was extremely weird. I mean, that's a given, but there were some bits that were genuinely really well written. I mean, I'd give it a solid, 6.5 out of 10 at least. It's better than a lot of Goto's work. It's better than all of Goto's work. Let's be bloody honest here.
In my books, in my books, 6.5 out of 10 ain't that great.
Well, 5 is average, so it's above average.
If you take 5 as average, which is what I think you're supposed to do, don't do it. Yeah, it's relatively decent. Speaking of Slanesh, I just want to bring something up. This is from...
Sorry.
I actually probably got a headbuttable desk now. I can actually do it. Anywho, so Age of Sigmar 2 came out last weekend at the time of this video coming out, and it gave a description of all of the Chaos Gods. Now, I know you might say, it's AOS, it's not 40k kind of compliant. They're the same Chaos Gods. So I just wanted to raise this because I've spoken to Remleiz about this earlier, and it seems like Age of Sigmar is full-on nicked this from the olden days, the real olden days. So this is how it describes Slanesh, and this is why I picked now to pick the segue. Slanesh is depicted in artwork and verse as a radiant and slender colossus, male on the left side and female on the right, with a subtly disturbing voice.
Which is essentially their old Realm of Chaos appearance.
Yes, I've had a look at that artwork, and it basically the depiction of Tzeentch, Khorne, and Nurgle absolutely match up. Nurgle has basically never changed, and Slanesh seems to fit relatively okay as well. It's just interesting that that's the first time in a long time I think I've seen Slanesh described in any sense of physicality. Because it's always been, Slanesh is super beautiful to look at and exceptionally alluring and stuff like that, but there's never been any hard stats. Like, what do they actually look like? Oh, for the love of Christ.
We are talking about Slanesh here. I need to get these jokes in.
It's going to be one of those days, isn't it? It's one of those days.
Well, we can always go back to talking about, blubber dogs.
To be fair, I think the comments would almost prefer that.
Okay, leave a comment below if you want to talk more about blubber dogs.
And while you're there, I just wanted to take this moment to say, obviously we're a 40k podcast, we always have been, and we always will be covering 40k. But if you would like us, now that there's a new edition of Age of Sigmar, lots of new lore and things like that both of us are reading, to cover it, maybe to discuss some lore developments or new releases in the news segments or take questions, we're more than happy to do that, but it's up to you guys as commenters. If you want us to do that, let us know, and we'll happily cover it. But that's up to you guys. Let us know in the comments. PSA.
I mean, take it from like a super fan. It was always pretty fucking neato hearing just like today in AOS. I'm pretty sure not that many people actually had problems with it.
No, but I just want, because we've been a 40k podcast for the best part of 2 years now. So if we want to change it, I just thought I'd ask, because I know AOS with some people is like the Antichrist.
I think people could live with the Antichrist a little bit in their lives. Just I'm
just gonna let that one lie and move on. I think.
I mean, how long has it been now since AOS first appeared?
3 years.
Is it? I thought it was 4 years.
No, it's 3.
Okay, but even so, 3 years. Grief period. The griefing period is over.
Yeah.
Though if you do like your old fantasy, you'll be pleased to know that Blood Bowl is getting some new stuff. The Nagaroth Nightmares, the Dark Elf team, which is majoritively looks like warriors with a few witch elves thrown in for good measure.
Do they still have the assassin?
I'm just looking through the article now, whether they've got runners. That looks like a core set. Yes, they have assassins.
Nice.
One who looks like a proper assassin and one who looks like a witch elf in a hat.
I remember back in the older editions of Blood Bowl, the Dark Elf assassins were full-blown glass cannons. Like, if they hit, they would pretty much kill anything.
Yeah,
but
they are classed as...
Then again, they'll be knocked over by something stronger than a light breeze.
that's broadly elves, and they're also getting 2 star players, Eldril Sidewinder, who looks like a witch elf, and Roxana Darknail, who looks like a harlequin, which is just a little odd. But on top of that, Yosef Bugman, who gives his name, of course, to Bugman's Bar in Warhammer World, for those of you who have been, is being released as a star player and a coach for Dwarf, Halfling, Norse, Human, Amazon, and Ogre teams, interestingly enough.
And he's got a little pipe when he's a coach, and he's got a pint when he's a player.
And he's stood in a barrel as a coach. Yeah. He's more interested in his pipe and his barrel of beer than he is the tactic.
Well, of course. Wouldn't you, if you're a dwarf?
I tried Googling this character and all that came up was a German-Israeli politician. Damn it. What am I doing wrong? How do you spell his name?
Josef Bugman.
Well, at least we know that, once his career in, being a brewer is done, he's got a career in politics.
Specifically German and Israel.
I will say this, though, about the new star player models. I think the older model of Varag Ghoul-Chewer looked better. The new one looks shit.
To be fair, there are moments where the new model range generally is amazing. There's 99%, but there is the odd miss.
I mean, the new models for Griff Overworld, Zug, Hackflame, Scuttle Spice, Grim Iron Jaw, Morgan Thorg, they all look great. But Varag Ghoul-Chewer looks shit. Glart Smash Rip looks fat.
Fair enough.
What a criticism.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's not just Blood Bowl. I mean, 40k, the only miss I can think of in recent memory is Typhus. To me, that model is awful. And
I think it's...
I like Joseph. I mean, I like Typhus.
I think it's better when you swap the hand with the scythe, so it's like in his lower hand, and replace what he's holding up like a corpse of a loyalist or something. That makes it look so much better.
The problem was, Callus Typhon, the 30k model for Typhus, is amazing. And the old school Typhus, he was just this quite compact model, but he had this massive side, and he was coming to kill you. This Typhus just looks a bit derpy, though. I think that conversion might actually work, now that you say it.
Yeah.
Also, don't just Google Typhus. That's an illness. Oh my god, I just made that mistake.
Well, yeah, it's a Nurgle character. Of course, his name Doctor Illness.
Oh god damn it!
It's like looking up a Nurgle character called Herpes.
Thankfully, I don't think there is one, but
yet.
I wonder how far that rabbit hole could go. Start naming all Nurgle characters. I'm gonna start shooting through them.
Right. Anyway.
Yeah, I don't really quite know. So whatever this Wrath of Glory is getting a new expansion, whatever that is.
Oh, Wrath of Glory. That's that new RPG.
Yes, there's a new RPG getting an expansion called Dark Tides to go along with its core rules. And they've included some comic panels, which basically just looks like they're playing D&D in 40k, which does look like pretty fun. I'm not going to read the comics now. So that's going to be purchasable at Gen Con, and pre-orders are currently open until the end of July if you're interested. And there's something on Bell of Lost Souls, apparently, where they promoted it, but whatever.
I now want to see a Games Workshop release a comic series of all the gods in the warp playing D&D.
Oh god!
Not just the Chaos gods, but you have you got the Emperor there, you got Gork and Mork, you got Isha, Chigorak, Kane, the Hive Mind's just wandering around eating all the snacks. I mean, that can be good for a laugh. Get someone like Evil Ordinary to do it or something like that.
Something like that. I mean, the role models comic strips that they've been doing for AOS have been really quite clever because they've completely smashed the fourth wall with them.
Was that the same one that was in that trailer? It's like, Lord Sigma, you can't just open up another chamber. The hell I can't!
No, it's much more fourth wall breaking. So it's the idea of seeing these Stormcatcher, you see these grey soldiers walking towards them, have no idea why, and then it comes to, dude, you really need to paint your models. So it's that sort of, or why are you here to be reforged? I died fighting a bloodthirster in glorious single combat. Right, you. Cuts to a 1 for a dangerous terrain check.
Nice.
It's that sort of fourth wall breaking. It is quite funny. I've enjoyed it. But, it'll be fun to see them do something similar. Okay, I'd quite like that. Although the Chaos Gods play D&D, let's not give out for any more ideas than he needs.
Just the gods.
Oh shit!
Just the gods, not the Chaos Gods. The gods, all of them. We'll even have the Great Horned Rat turn up for a game, and he gets into a huge argument with Slanesh to see who's the more important Chaos God of the two.
At which point, Korn just boots them both out.
They both get kicked out of the house. They both look in through the window, and Malice is sitting there in their place, waving at them.
Yes, I approve.
Oh, and to those saying that the Sons of Malice aren't canon, read Cadia Stands. They're in that.
You bring this up like every week.
Yes, but I didn't bring up Cadia Stands though last time.
Let's take your point. Just one other piece of PSA news from Games Workshop. White Dwarf Digital is going. So if you had a White Dwarf Digital subscription, it is being cancelled because they're not going to do it anymore. They've got the paper copy, and Warhammer Community basically does everything White Dwarf does, but better. So if you have a digital subscription or a joint subscription, you can either get a full refund for whatever you haven't paid for yet, or double that value in gift vouchers.
Damn.
Imagine someone just bought the subscription like the day before, and it's like, oh, refund for double gift vouchers. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, a White Dwarf subscription must cost like what, 50? No, like 70 quid at this point a year.
Funny thing.
No, but will the paper copy still stay?
Yeah, the paper copies are staying. It's just the digital copy that's going.
Funny thing. Back in my day, with White Dwarf, Baron, this is around issue 206, 207 of the initial run. So
my first was 360 something, just for context.
Mine was 640 something.
So yeah, just so you know how long ago this actually was. When you ordered this, you had a choice of doing like a 1 year or a 2 year subscription. And the 1 year subscription, you got like a £5 box set of your choice from either Warhammer Fantasy or Warhammer 40,000, which include things like, Space Marines, Orc Boys, Lizardmen, Saurus Warriors, Bretonnian Knights, etc. But if you did the 2 year subscription, you could actually get a game. Like, you could actually get something like, like Blood Bowl or, one of the smaller specialist games.
Wow, that's good value.
Yeah. So I ended up getting Blood Bowl through that, just because, I was like, well, I've already got this, so I guess I'll get Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
Also, not to sound like an idiot, it wasn't 600, it was 300. My bad.
I was going to say that 365 was 5th edition 40k. I don't know if we're up to 600 episodes yet.
Yeah, no. I was thinking about it, I was like, wait, I feel like I'm off with something there.
Yeah, no, just a tad. Just a tad.
And for reference, my very first issue was issue 199. So suck it.
Jesus Christ.
Bear in mind, issue 199 was when the second edition Codex Chaos was released. And we still got the same bloody models for Abaddon and Fabius Bile.
Oh.
The same bloody models. They have not changed. And the funny thing is as well, I was looking at some of the older models on Games Workshop site the other day. Did anyone else notice that Ragnar Blackmane's model is wearing boosters?
Yes.
He's wearing wolf teeth boosters on his feet.
Yes.
Now, bear in mind, in 40k 2nd edition, the army that got the very first codex was Space Wolves.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so, and that model was from that time. It was literally the very first special character model from the very first codex of 2nd edition.
Uh-huh.
And it hasn't been changed.
Uh-huh. It's a little silly. It is.
It's been what? Well, I was going to say 20 years, but I think it's longer than that, actually.
It's nearly 30.
It's close to 30 fucking years.
Fucking Christ, man.
I mean, I understand with some models not changing, because some models are just good, because I think, like Corblo's model for the Blood Angels, that just looks great, even as a 2nd edition Scott. That still looks great, because it's nice and dynamic, for him throwing the red grail up into the air and that.
Fabius looks fine.
I think Fabius looks a bit too boring. He's just got pose with his arms wide, like he wants to give you a cuddle.
He's just standing there.
But it is serviceable though. If you saw someone who was new to the who'd not been in the hobby for too long, guess when this model was made? They'd probably say it wouldn't say 2nd edition.
No.
It would pass as a 4th or 5th edition model.
Yeah.
And Abaddon the same. Like, yes, Abaddon's model is awful, but
he needs a new model because his model is too fucking small.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. It's just badly. It's just not aged well with size and things like that.
No.
So it's just, again, it kind of looks like a 4th edition model, but it's just not the size of a 4th edition model.
Yeah. And let's not forget, there's that, Space Wolf Rune Priest and Terminator Armor, which is a fucking Rogue Trader model. It's a Rogue Trader model selling service. Like, why won't you update this? This is a model that's literally 30 years old. Please.
Yeah.
Right. Rant over.
Broadly speaking, that's your news. I can't see anything else here of particular note, unless something snuck past me that I've missed with coming home from France.
Not that I could see.
Okay.
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
So this is usually Remleiz's lore rambling segment, where he goes tells us something cool.
Oh yeah. So in the last 2 weeks, I managed to read the other 2 Conquest novels. Devastation of Baal and Ashes of Prospero. And can I just say in Ashes of Prospero, Niall Stormcaller is a fucking idiot because he decides to take a nap in a chair made out of the skeleton of a psychic wolfen and then gets surprised when he gets, his mind possessed by a 1,000-sun sorcerer. Bear in mind, this wasn't meditate in the chair, he full-on fell asleep in it. It's like an old granddad. Right? Secondly, Magnus the Red gets outwitted by Lucas the Trickster, who basically turns to Bugs fucking Bunny. Like, Lucas tears a page out of this book from that the scribes of Zinch had, and he was like waving in front of Magnus, like, look what I got! It's like, give me this curse of unbinding, I'll give you everything you want. Okay, let my pack free. Okay, done. Here you go. This isn't a curse of unbinding. I never said it was. Bye! It's like, for fuck's sake, you just turned Magnus the Red into Elmer fucking Fudd. It's like, be very quiet, I'm hunting space wolves.
Look, I know Magnus is not the great intellect he used to be from the Great Crusade. I know his soul was shattered, and I know he's not what he was, but
Cartoon logic. He got outwitted by cartoon logic.
God.
I mean, I would say Ashes of Prospero is probably the weakest of the Conquest novels so far.
But that's not saying anything bad against it, because Devastation of Baal, from my experience, was excellent.
Oh yeah, that's the best one so far.
And War of Secrets,
War of Secrets is full of weird stuff, but it's full of weird stuff that makes you think, like, whoa. Like the whole, space fishing thing.
Yeah, that.
Yes. I've seen a lot of people asking about this in the comments section. Where was the Tau God, the great God of the Great Good from? It was in that book, War of Secrets. Yeah.
And one thing with Devastation of Baal, I've just been going back through it, and it's interesting because Mephiston is described by a Harlequin. I'm not going to explain when this comes up, as two-souled Mephiston. Okay, doesn't sound like much. However, later on, he himself feels himself coming apart, for want of a better word. Mephiston and Calistarius. So it's kind of like Mephiston is an alter identity that kept him alive, and the Calistarius personality is still there?
Quite possibly. He also turns grey. Like, his skin actually goes full-blown corpse grey.
Yeah, give or take. Mephiston in Devastation of Baal does some pretty bullshit things. I won't lie. He does some bullshit.
I will say one thing about Devastation of Baal. The scene with the first water was fucking amazing.
Oh, yes. That was so good.
Which makes me wonder, how come the Blood Angels in their coach should be able to have, like, a special relic, first water grenade. Come on. If anyone, like if it hits, it causes instant death to an organic, to a non-robotic target or something.
Potentially, I don't know.
One use only.
Yeah, maybe it just does a pile of mortal wounds because otherwise, but.
Yeah.
Oh no! Over the span of the next 3 days, I will slowly rust faster.
Well, Thirst Water basically it
drains all moisture from the target, turning it to
you
dust.
basically just desiccates anything that goes in it.
Well, anything that touches it, rather.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to go in it. It can fall on someone and it kills them instantly.
Agreed. There's a lot in Devastation about, and I really, really recommend it. Both if you have and if you haven't read the Dante novel, because I haven't, and it's still excellent, even though it's an unofficial sequel. Yeah, the ending. Oh, that ending.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Shall we or shall we not?
No, let's not. Let's not spoil an ending.
All right. We'll not spoil the ending, but it makes you think, and it's certainly the subject of a video potentially one day. But
Now, in Ashes of Prospero, on the other hand, there's something that pretty much kills off the entire Bloodraven Thousand Sun connection altogether. Now, there's a scene where some Thousand Suns from the time of the Horus Heresy are still fighting in the Pyramid of Photep on Prospero, which is surrounded by like a warp field, for lack of a better term, so it's like out of sync with reality.
This time fell apart over Tizca during the... but that did happen.
Yeah. And the 13th Company of the Space Wolves are in there as well, still fighting, led by Bolvi. So when the Thousand Suns start marching out of this barrier, as soon as they enter real space and real time, they just start collapsing into dust.
They get rubricked.
Yeah, and basically Njal starts acting like a dick and starts going, "Ha ha, all is dust, ha ha." Yes, Njal Rollins, yes.
You get that.
Yes, burn it down.
But yes, that is unfortunate. So it implies, therefore, that even Thousand Suns who are around now
Will be rubric.
should all be rubricked, no matter where they were.
Unless they're a very powerful psycho.
Yes, but that's not enough to found a chapter off your gene seed. It's just not. So, unfortunately, despite all the evidence that was built up over however long, it looks like they have decided, you know what, Bloodraven's Thousand Suns, get in the bin.
Fucking angering, I swear. That was probably like one of my favorite theories. I'm not even gonna lie. Also, yes, I'm still here.
Yeah, sorry, we've got to take it over that.
No, it's completely fine. I'm like, I'm basically a super fan. So like, half of the shit I don't know, and I'm like, yes, give me this knowledge.
Yeah, fair point, I suppose. Then again, it would be weird for you trying to animate if you do this episode. Delphin,
You cut out a bit, my bad.
Oh, basically, if you tried to do this episode for Animaticus, you'd have to do yourself, and that would just be weird, I guess.
I'm just thinking of just like getting all the bits where I'm it, and then just mute.
Right.
Fair enough.
Should I go about Animaticus real quick? Or,
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, this is your 5 minutes of plug.
Hey, okay, I'm here now. I am present. I don't know what to say. So, yeah, Animaticus. It might have been in hiatus for a while, but right now I'm figuring my own stuff out. I'm getting my life together for once, and so I'm actually planning on getting a schedule back again with Animaticus. I'm not sure like if it'll be weekly, bi-weekly, or every 3 weeks, but I am planning on getting it back rolling to anyone who, all about 500 of you that liked it, 500 plus. I don't really know the numbers.
But yes, the links will be in the description if you do want to go and watch it and all of that fun stuff. And to be fair, even if it's kind of like one of those things, we don't expect anything, we don't ask anything. So if you do get time, great. And I know that the people who have seen it before do appreciate it, and we do as well. So
I mean, I have like, I'm not saying I'm a YouTuber like yourselves, but I have like 10 people that are like on every video I ever put. And like the second an Animaticus goes up, they pop up.
Yeah, some people. I didn't quite have the bell on, but I always know when. So.
Oh, dude, I freaked out when you like subscribed to me. I was like, what the hell is happening?
Hey, you basically made fan content of our work. Why would?
But I don't think of my shit as anything special.
To be fair, that's the same when we start out. We don't think of our work. Well, some of us might, but our work is just our work. Whether it's anything special or not is not up to us. Like sometimes I'll create a video that I'm really proud of. I've got a battle report that came out yesterday at the time of this video going live, and I'm really proud of that video. It was an amazing video to make. But I know that for other people, that's just another day at the office. And sometimes a video that I thought, oh, well, I know people quite like this topic, but it's just another video to me. Will just blow up, and I'll be like, wow, people really appreciated that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to shit on Animaticus, but
your own work is part of the course.
Oh yeah. Animaticus doesn't feel like my magnum opus, if for a lack of a better term. But yeah, Animaticus is fun to make. Sometimes I have like days where I don't want to make it, which I think some of you know. But yeah, like there's some other stuff that like is the less popular stuff I find more fun in. I don't know. I think I do it more for myself than I do it for anyone else. But that's beside the point. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
It is a hobby for me.
Oh yeah, it's the same. Like, some people have asked me before, oh, why don't you have a Patreon? Why don't you accept donations, etc., etc., etc. Simple. It's not my job. If I start taking money off people, it becomes my job, and I feel much more pressured to do stuff, and then my uni work or an eventual career, should I take one, or whatever else is going on in my life, has to take a sort of back seat to the part that people are paying me to do. So that's why I've always stuck to that sort of mindset.
Shit, at where I'm at, people are like, I had that one update where I just said I didn't have much money to spare, and people are already telling me like, yeah, set up a Patreon, we'll support you, and I'm like, I'm nobody. What? Let me just like, I like the dedication, but like, god damn.
Yeah, we have got great communities around us. The family we built around Adeptus Podcastus, both the people who come on the show and the people who just watch and comment and leave questions. The show works because of all the component parts.
Yeah.
Half the show is taken up by questions from viewers, so without their engagement, we don't have half a show. We can't always have enough news to talk about all that stuff forever. We've only got so much time in our life.
I'll be honest, half of the material for Animaticus come from the questions.
Yeah. They just leave themselves wide open to memes and cheap shit.
Speaking of the questions, I think it's time to get to them.
Oh
Yes.
Boy, what a transition.
Yes.
Seamless.
Okay, so first question. You might be able to answer this better than I, Michael. What's the difference between introducing God tier characters in Age of Sigmar and Primarch level characters in 40k?
Right. The reason that God tier characters kind of work in AOS is because everybody's got one. There's Nagash, there's Gordrak, who is basically the avatar of Gork and Morka. You have Sigmar himself, Alariel, Marathi, who's a demigod, and then you have Archaon, who is so powerful that the Chaos Gods literally can't kill him. So, no, seriously, they've tried. They can't kill him. So
didn't the Horned Rat try and say, like, let me give you my blessing, ever chosen the Chaos, and Archaon was like, piss off.
Yeah, that happened too. He basically bitch slapped down the Horn Rat. But yeah, those characters and that setting supports godlike characters, and they're across all of the Grand Alliances. In 40k, how many races can get a Primarch level character without doing some ridiculous bullshit? You have the Imperium. You have Chaos, which is easy. You have the Prime Orc idea if you go down that route with Gazkul, but
you can make you can make something, you know, like a new and improved Swarm Lord for the Nids.
Yep, some mega killer beast you can do. But what do the Tau do? What do the Dark Eldar do? What do
with the Drukhari, don't forget, Vector's declared himself as being a living Dark Muse. If he has actually become a Dark Muse, that's his gateway to becoming a god tier character, essentially.
True, and the craft worlders, the Phoenix Lords seem to be their, mortal-wise, it's their top tier. And we see what the Titans can do, and they're obviously on a different level again. We're going to see what the Avatars can do. So it has to be some sort of exalted avatar. They'd have to fudge it in some way.
What they could do. Remember in the novel Ghost Warrior, there was the Spirit of Cain, not an avatar, the Spirit of Cain, which was like, basically went up to Lunari and said, "Hi, you're all going to kill each other now," and they all started fighting each other because he said so. Because he commands, he just says a word and they start killing each other, and he was like more powerful than Avatar. He was like in bone white. Right.
Yeah, that can do it. Yeah, they've just got to do a lot of fudging, and the other catch is balance. And I know Age of Sigmar has this problem too, because Order has Sigmar, Tyrion, Teclis, Malerion, Marathi, Alariel, and I've literally had to get... Grimnir's dead, Grungni's in hiding. Okay, fine. You've got a lot in Order and only one in Death and Nagash. But the problem is the Imperium has a theoretical 7 it can call on. Chaos has an actual 7 it can call on. No matter what the other races do, only one from them can even keep up.
Yeah.
So that just... I know Games Workshop is accused of Imperial bias a lot, but in this case it would just be very, very silly. Having those tiers of character in lore is one thing. Getting them onto the tabletop is another challenge again. If that makes sense. I hope I've been a bit clear with that, but I might... Yeah.
Okay. Next question. I know the Chaos Gods used to have positive aspects. Are there at least still demons that represent positive aspects that may have survived into the pseudo-retcon?
Skulltaker comes to mind for me.
Yeah.
Because Skulltaker is not super indiscriminate. He'll hunt down his chosen target. If the chosen target runs, he'll cut him down. If they fight, they'll get an honourable death. So Khorne still has elements of honour in Khorne. There's not loads, but there's little bits like that.
There's also the fact that Nurgle loves you.
Well, yes, that.
Okay.
Holy shit, it's 11 o'clock. Oh, fuck. Oh, no, it's all good. It's all good.
It's 7 o'clock. What are you talking about? Okay, would anything change if someone removed the butcher's nails from Angron? He'd be dead.
I saw that, yeah.
Off Demon Angron, can you even remove them from a demon?
Yeah, are they even physical?
Yeah, I would say they're just infused into him at that point.
Yeah. I mean, Mortal Angron, no, because he'd die, because it replaced half his brain.
Mm-hmm.
Demon Angron, no, because it's now part of his warp essence.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, do the nails even affect Demon Angron?
I don't know. I think he just screams. I mean, there was that one scene where he was crying like a little bitch for daddy.
Why do you always make it so lewd?
I didn't say anything about lewd. That was your mind that took you there.
You couldn't fix any other cocking phrasing.
I mean, it's not like Angron said, "Pull my dreadlocks and choke me harder, daddy."
Yeah, I'm with Remleiz on this.
Fine. All right. I look like an idiot. Fine.
No, it's just...
So everyone call Michael daddy in the comments.
Oh, get out!
Please!
I've got control of the edit. I could cut this out if I wanted to.
No! Why?
Okay, in a what-if scenario before the Emperor found the Primarchs, some of the Primarchs, if not all of them, were expanding their territory and ran into one another. What would happen? And is there a possibility that all the Primarchs will kill Lorgar?
Now, I think it's interesting because some of the Primarchs, when they were discovered by the Emperor, just kind of knew. So, if they knew that the Emperor was the Emperor, and etc., is it possible they'd recognize each other as well? Especially in the case of individuals like Magnus and Kurz.
Well,
so, yeah.
Quote-unquote, officially, Horus and Alpharius recognized each other. Officially,
eventually.
Quote-unquote. We all know the truth about that. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like if Guilliman ran across, to be fair, if Guilliman ran across Lorgar, I feel like I don't know if they would go to war or whether they'd be able to coexist or just be on one of the other councils. It's hard to say really because it will really depend on the Primarchs in question.
You look familiar. You're not as small as these wretches or plebeians. Are you perchance related? Put her there, brother. Now, to war! Father says it's my turn on the Xbox. Sorry.
Okay, next question.
Okay, wouldn't Korax be a better choice for Tzeentch since he can turn to birds? I don't think being a bird is a requirement for Tzeentch, considering that,
Psykers.
Yeah.
Well, powerful Psykers.
Not to mention with Tzeentch as well, some of his demons, are more mushrooms with bird beaks or little pink men. Little Mr. Blobbies.
The idea of, rather than birds, the idea of transformation and change would appeal to Tzeentch, but it sounds like there's more than one Primarch can do it. I don't know. It's kind of hard to know.
Will you and anyone else play 40k Monopoly on a stream?
Yes, if I could.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll stream it, but I get the feeling we'll play it on the channel.
So I'm gonna get a plane ticket and let's play. That's pricey.
Yeah, just a tad.
Have Corvus Corax and Conrad Kurz ever fought together during the Great Crusade?
Not that I remember.
They might have done. Considering the Great Crusade was how many centuries?
2?
Yep, so they had 200 years to fight alongside one another. They might have done. There was that time when Kurz and Magnus fought alongside one another.
And then tried to kill each other.
Only because Magnus was disobeying the Emperor's orders and Kurz said, no, Dad said you have to burn it down. No stealing the library books. No, naughty, naughty. That's literally what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Question from Michael. Do you think Farsight could ascend to godhood?
Right.
I saw that one, and then I saw a dislike pop up in the second I saw that comment.
It wasn't me, for the record. It wasn't me. I'm going to go with no. And the reason I'm going to go with no is that the God of the Greater Good required the entire Tau race plus the Gevesa and the other psychic auxiliaries to make it happen. Now, as far as the main empire is concerned, Farsight doesn't exist. He's dead. So whilst he might be fondly remembered by some or idolized by some, it would be nowhere near enough to become godlike anywhere even near to whatever we're calling Space Vishnu. So unless he so happens to reunify with the main empire and or live forever, I'm going with no.
The only thing I can think of is he like the one thing we went over earlier. He can become a Primarch equivalent of the other races for Tau, but
like an avatar of the greater good, for want of a better word.
Yeah, that's more like it.
So he'd be Chassauville Chauvaquais Montalva.
Montau is the time of ending when everyone tried to kill each other.
I know, but Montalva. Talva, Talva's the good.
So death of the greater good.
Yes.
Remleiz, I didn't know you speak several languages.
I've had to pronounce Farsight's name multiple times. It's very simple now.
Chassauville Chauvaquais Montier. Yeah, he's one of the things you do it once.
Exactly. Right. What if the Emperor didn't get help from the 4 main Chaos Gods, but got help from Malice in gaining knowledge and power that he needed for the Great Crusade?
He wouldn't have had enough of it.
No.
Real quick, I'm sorry. I really hope that stomach grumble came into the recording.
I'm afraid not in there.
Damn it.
It might have done. I don't know.
But yes, I don't think even if he went to Malice, he'd get enough power because as much as Malice is a god of chaos undivided, it's no disrespect intended. It's a minor entity.
Yeah.
It just there's not enough. Like, the knowledge maybe, but the power not even close.
Okay, question for Michael. If you could write the fluff, how would you introduce the Chaos Dwarves and Tomb Kings into Age of Sigmar?
Well, they're actually not gone. They actually have points in match play these days. Didn't know that until yesterday. But the Chaos Dwarves are still around. The idea of black iron-clad dwarves serving chaos is still a thing. I believe it's mainly in Sharmon or Akshi. It's in the core book somewhere. As for Tomb Kings, well, that depends on what you do with Cetra. For those who don't remember fantasy, Cetra was the leader of the Tomb King faction and the only brave enough to give Nagash and the Chaos Gods the middle finger.
Because Cetra does not serve Cetra rules, bitch.
Yeah, cue whatever the meme music in Sunglass Drop. Anyway, so Cetra died at the end of everything. So whether Cetra could be brought, because Cetra could easily have been brought through, allowing him to recreate a new faction, particularly if he was able to break free from Nagash's will, or if Cetra was brought through by, shall we say, Sigmar and became the Celestant Prime, you could have a chamber or a storm host that are old souls of Nehekara, drawn from Shaiish, which could be, let's say, the storm host of the Ambles of the Heldenhammer, one of their chambers, so happens to be a Nehekaran phalanx, and they are the spirits of the Tomb Kings. As for recreating the Tomb Kings themselves, death is complicated right now because Nagash basically owns all of it, so not gonna happen so much. Everyone is under Nagash's boot. Well, does he have a boot? Yeah, he has a boot. So yeah, it would be a bit awkward to do through death, but doing it through the Stormcast Eternals is a way you could do it.
Okay. I don't understand this question, so you guys might... Thoughts on the All-Guardsman Party? I'm not sure what he's referencing there.
Nope, me neither. Not sure if political joke, not sure if cultural joke that we just don't get. I don't know. Yeah. Is that an American thing?
I'm drawing a blank.
Okay, next question then. Are the salamanders really that nice, or is it just another meme that went too far?
It's both. In truth, it's kind of both. So the salamanders are one of the very few chapters who, for want of a better word, socialize. There are 7 domains on Nocturne, and the salamanders are charged with stewardship of them. They look after them, they protect them, and they sort of mix with the civilians.
They're allowed to have families, I think, aren't they?
Space Marines are sterile, but yes, I don't know.
In the terms family, yeah.
I think they might just, go and live with their descendants for a little bit or something.
Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, they're a lot more connected to the people they once were. And that extends to other civilians as well. So, for example, the Salamanders would rather defend a civilian position than potentially kill the Orc war boss leading the raid on Tempestora.
That was the thing that actually happened in the second or third the third Armageddon War, where the Salamanders basically said, right, we're going to protect these civilians, Then the Marines Malevolent went, some orcs and the civilians, just nuke the civilians as well, collateral damage. Salamanders went, dude, what the fuck? Marines Malevolent Captain went, fuck it, just civilians, and then Tusham bitch slapped him.
Yeah, and there was nearly open war with the Black Templars. They missed their chance to boss attack in the dockyards of Hell's Reach in order to protect civilians.
But yeah, the Salamanders are the nice guys. Close second probably would be the Space Wolves, because they do care for their own people. They do.
And to be fair, the Blood Angels do in some way as well.
Oh, yeah. Those 3 are the good guy chapters of the lot. the good guy chapters, as it were.
If you like.
Yeah, I mean, the Imperial Fists, I feel, just don't care. They're just like, you're a civilian. Good.
Calculation, yeah.
Ultramarines... Actually, no, the Ultramarines do care as well, from what
they're politicians.
Yeah.
Enough said.
It's like, we have to at least pretend like we care, lads. Yeah, so it looks good in our good graces, And then you get someone like, say...
the Iron Hands.
Yeah. It's like, you're too squishy.
Yeah, I remember the end of Wrath of Iron, I think it was, where the Iron Hands defeated the Slaanesh invasion of the world, and then just went around systematically massacring all the Guardsmen main characters we'd come across.
It's like, did you see that demon? Yeah, I did. Okay, bang.
Not even that. There wasn't even an asking question. It was just drop pod.
Yeah.
What was that world? I can't remember. It doesn't matter.
Okay, question for all. Should Void Whales get their own codex, and if yes, should Blubber Dogs be included as a troop choice?
Yes,
More
definitely.
more Blubber Dogs.
More. I want a corgi version.
The Space Wolves get enough love as it is.
Ah,
Dang.
I actually do want a corgi space wolf model. That would be amazing. Like one of those what are the big ones called that they ride sometimes?
Thunderwolves.
Thunderwolf, a Thunderwolf corgi. That'd be so great.
Fair enough.
Okay.
No, I'm not expecting a whole conversation off of that.
If Sanguinius would return, would he return as the Primarch of the Legion of the Damned? No, I doubt it, considering he's, considering people keep thinking that Ferrus Manus is the Primarch of the Legion of the Damned, even though he's not, because a lot of people seem to misrepresent the symbolism of the Emperor using an attack shaped like Ferrus Manus, and believe it was actually Ferrus Manus' spirit, even though it was just a Ferrus Manus-shaped fireball to symbolically strike at Draken Yen. It's called symbolism, you fucks!
I mean, parts of it, you have to depend how you subscribe to what the Legion of the Damned are. If they're ghosts, then fine, okay, but first off, Lee Sanguinius is dead. But if you subscribe to them being demonic or an entity like that, then how would they have a Primarch who's dead? It really depends on what they are and how they came to be.
Not to mention the fact that, there's little matter of Sanguinius being stuck on the Vengeful Spirit.
And that. Ow! Just get that out.
Sanguinius just bit you from beyond the grave.
Carry on.
The other week you guys mentioned that Total Biscuit would have been a dream guest. Who now would be the ultimate guest on the podcast?
Should we mention your famous connections, Remleiz?
It's not really a connection, because he hasn't actually spoken to me. He just name-dropped me for some bizarre reason, which I'm still surprised at. But yeah, a few weeks ago there was VidCon, the YouTube convention, and Markiplier was there. For those of you who don't know, he's one of the biggest YouTubers on the site. He's like 20 million subs. And he was asked about his favourite YouTube channels, and he mentioned mine, which made me think, what?
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
But yeah, it might be nice to get him on the podcast at some point. One person I would like to get, even though this will never happen, it will never happen, but I would like to get him on, because I know he's a Warhammer fan, is Samoa Joe. I would love Samoa Joe on one day, but that will never happen.
Yeah, that would be pretty damn awesome to get Joe on. But for me, I don't know, because I can't think of that many YouTubers who are not hobby YouTubers who follow the hobby.
Wait, I disconnected. What was the news? Hold up.
Markiplier name drop Remleiz.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I thought you got him as a guest. Okay.
No, this is talking about ideal guests. So,
okay.
In an ideal world, if Markiplier happens to be listening to this episode and wants to get on, you know where we are.
Hey Mark, my girlfriend loves your content. Call me.
Right. Next question. Is the Necron Flayer virus an organic or computer virus? It's really neither.
It's a curse. It's almost a soul curse, although the Necrons have no soul.
Or do they?
Am I still connected? Hold up.
Yeah, you're still connected, yeah.
Why is my shit fucking dying?
It's because Discord. Just leave the call and jump back in. You should be fine. I had to do that, so.
No. I was just assuming it's my internet because I got like McDonald's Wi-Fi going here.
Oh.
I've got that joke. But anyway.
You're loving it.
God.
Damn it.
Anywho, question again?
Flare virus.
Oh, right, yes. So, for those who don't know the origins of the flare virus, basically a Catan died, the only Catan that was ever killed, and he cursed the Necrons who killed him with the hunger for flesh, for want of a better word, which would go on to become the flare virus. Because they are mechanical entirely and software, etc., at least in the lower tier Necrons, it's probably a virus. However, with the lords who have maintained their sentience, for want of a better phrase, it could be something more than that. A glitch in their coding matrix, a glitch in their personalities, an actual soul curse. It's really hard to say, but my best guess, because it affects the peons, is some sort of computer virus.
But the thing is, as well, it doesn't just affect their mental state, it physically affects them, it physically mutates them.
Yes, they gain the claws, don't they?
And they become hunched over and their mouths start opening up and they just start screaming.
This is where it gets a little bit more complicated.
Yes. Like that one instance that happened when one of the Hive fleets decided to invade a tomb world.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Necrons were awakening up as like, oh, we're being invaded. Oh no, pretty much the entire tomb's been corrupted by the flare virus. Fuck! What do we do? Send them back in time. Bink! Hey, we're fine now. Hey, here's that Rakir. It's like, oh, I expected more warriors. Yeah, they're all fucked. Bagger. Right. For every codex you buy, do you plan on getting the supplements and expansions? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, for armies I play, absolutely. For armies I have a lore interest in, almost certainly. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way and buy the Yanden supplement if they redid that, but I'd go and buy the Farsight Enclave supplement.
Are there any Black Library books that focus on the Harlequins?
Yes, there is one by, it's called Path of the Harlequin. It's the Eldar trilogy by series by Gav Thorpe.
Is that Path of the Harlequin? I thought it was Path of the Exarch, Path of the Seer, and Path of the Outcast, wasn't it?
I'm sure. No, there is. I thought there was a Harlequin one tied to that series. It's called Motley. There was a Harlequin called Motley.
Is Mask of the Vile? Is that what it's called? This one?
Oh, it might be that. Yeah, sorry. I thought Path of the Harlequin. I don't know why.
There's the book Harlequin by Ian Watson.
Though, given last podcast, maybe.
Yeah, and there's also the audio drama Deadly Wit.
There you go.
So yeah, you got Mask of the Vile, Deadly Wit, and Harlequin. Okay, next question. If the Tau of all people could create a god, could the Tyranids?
The Tau technically didn't. Yes, but it's a yeah, but no, but.
Yeah, but no, but yeah, but no.
Yeah, exactly. They did, but they didn't have the power to do it all. As for the Tyranids, well, it's interesting. I'm going to go back to Devastation of Baal.
Yeah, because they dropped a hint that it was slowly evolving into, like, a presence in the warp, wasn't it, as well?
Yes, so at the Council of Blood, or whatever it was called, where all the captains some of them were saying, well, if the hive mind's the problem, why don't we just go after it? To which Mephiston and co said, no. And it was one of the lines that said, do you mean we fight a god? And Mephiston goes, what else would you call it? Or something to that ilk.
So yeah, it's like the god of hunger, essentially. I mean, what else would you call, the hive mind? Yeah,
like, it's a consciousness that controls the will of the species it is patron to or created.
And seeks nothing but to feed.
Exactly. It's hard to not call it a god. It might not be a warp entity, but some sort of deific being thing. Yeah, why not?
Essentially, it's a yeah but no but.
Yeah, exactly. It's another yeah but no but.
I think I heard something recently. Well, this is like I think I read recently actually. I'm not exactly sure where, but it was a pretty interesting read. It was something like the Tyranids could create another type of chaos god. One similar to Malal. It was like a god of consumption And I'm making it sound really dumb, but it was a lot better of a read. I need to really find that. I read that like 2 weeks ago. But
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm basically done.
It was basically, that's kind of what the Blood Angels were implying, that it is that god.
Yeah.
And then when the Secretrix Maledictum opened up, all the Nids at once started screaming. Okay, if Abaddon was ever successful in regards to the Long War, what would the Imperium and galaxy as a whole look like? A lot spikier.
Much warp, much death.
A hell of a lot spikier.
A hell of a lot more demonic. There'll just be warp everywhere.
Then Abaddon will sit on the golden throne, and he will weep, for there will be nothing left for him to conquer.
Yes, and should he try to have a look at what's going on to the Astronomicon, he'll be dust in seconds.
And then someone goes, "Hey guys, why is there a warp rift here in the back of the palace?"
Yeah.
Why the noise?
Actually, hang on. Surely Abaddon knows that's a thing, right? Because Draknian was there.
It depends if
Surely
Draknian told
Abaddon
you.
has to know. True.
Okay, what are you looking forward to most about reading when they release the Siege of Terra novels? And would you change anything from the old lore?
I would want to lock down which Primarchs fought who and where. Because all we know is Sanguinius fought Kabanda, Dawn was in a Sky Fortress, and Angron was first or second through the gates.
It was Khan who was first through the gate.
Yeah, some say Angron, but the majority of consensus is Khan.
Yeah. The only thing I would change, I know I've said this a million times before.
You're dead anyway.
Yeah, I am. It's technically not Siege of Terra, it's on the Vengeful Spirit, but I want Garviel Loken to be there just so we can come full circle with the whole "I was there when Horus slew the Emperor" thing.
Yeah.
That's my dream. If they fit that in, I will be so fucking happy, just because we've come full circle.
Really, all I'd ever want is just that story about the single Marine jumping in the way to save the Emperor, was it?
Yes.
Alanius Pass, was it?
Yeah, I want them. I wanted to keep that because I heard because I haven't actually read it, or really know too much about it. That it started becoming like a jump in the way fest for a bunch of other Marines on top of him because they're all like. That's all I heard.
Well, the thing is, originally, and this is going back to the Realm of Chaos books, from 1988 or 89 or whatever year it was. The original story that detailed Emperor's final battle with Horus, it was a Space Marine Terminator that interrupted the fight. And then it got changed to Alanius Pius, which was just like one sentence. And that everyone just stuck on that one because it was like a normal guardsman. Everyone just focused on that. And then it got changed to a custodian.
Yeah, that's what got me mad. Yeah, I wanted to go back to the guardsman.
Well, considering that Alanius Pius has been a pretty major side character, I think they're setting that up.
I
mean, he's been around since what? No Fear, which is what, book 20-something?
And we're on are we into 60s now?
No, 50.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't quite sure. I knew we were in the 50s.
The one that had the collection of all the Vulcan stories, things like Sons of the Forge and Promethean Sun, that was book 50.
Right.
So Slaves to Darkness is book 51, if I recall.
Okay, fair enough.
It really is mind-blowing how much you guys fucking know. Holy crap.
That's what it is when it's been our jobs for the past 3 years.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure now you don't get this a lot, but god damn how much you guys know about this shit.
It does help that I was reading Devastation of Baal today. That helps.
Oh.
Yeah, and I finished Devastation of Baal yesterday and did Ashes of Prospero last week.
It's just literally insane. It's like something will come off topic and you'll be like, yeah, I remember that from Codex 3rd edition of the Tau or something, like out of nowhere. It's like, and sometimes you'd know the page in very rare occasions. Like, how the fuck?
Like when Remleiz recalls Games Day 96, that's like, what? I can barely remember when I went to school league at Warhammer when I was about that age. So,
like.
I mean, when I went to Games Day, that was when we had to display, the Battle of Big Tooth River.
Yeah, but you remember going on a guide and talking about exactly what sprue you got
Yeah.
and seen one thing from one fucking video game.
I still have the T-shirt I got from there. I still have the T-shirt, which has the orcs has like 3 orcs on the cover on the front of the T-shirt, and it's from the Gorkamorka other book art, and it was at the Birmingham National Indoor Arena.
See?
Yeah, I know my shit, bitch.
Yeah, it's one of those things. We sometimes we do come off as walking encyclopedias, but we get stuff wrong.
Oh yeah.
We talk a lot.
We're not infallible. I mean, sometimes I confuse old law for new law and vice versa. So.
Yeah, I think my most famous was saying Nathaniel Garrow was from Albania, not Albia. That was a good one. But yeah, we talk to each other quite a lot off the show, obviously, and that helps keep us just fresh with a few things of checking back on stuff. Like when you were doing your Chainsaw Warrior video, that was a fascinating little case study.
Oh yeah.
I still remember that. That's one I remember really well.
The funny thing was that got retweeted by the guys who did the video game of it, so I was happy about that.
Nice.
All right. Next question, I think. Do you think Leman Russ will return when the Space Wolves Codex comes out?
It breaks his own law to do so.
I hope not. I don't want any more Loyalist Primarchs to come back. There's only one you can bring back without any issue, and that's Lionel Johnson, because he's the only one who's actually confirmed to be alive. I mean, Rogaldorn's both confirmed to be alive and dead in the same fucking book.
Yeah.
Korax is busy turning into, a cloud monster in the warp on Sakaris.
Yeah. Vulcan, who the fuck knows?
Vulcan got nuked. Jagatai Khan, is rolling around at the speed of sound. He's got places to go in the webway. Who else is there? Sanguinius is dead. Ferrus Manus is dead. Gilliman's running around, going after, some Eldari booty. Which is canon, according to Gaffthorpe.
God.
I have no idea what we were referring to, but sure.
I want to know what you're referring to.
The whole Gilliman Eggs of Rain thing.
Yeah.
Gilliman.
I see.
Gaffthorpe said it was canon, so...
Okay.
So what other Loyalist Primarchs are that can come back, apart from Lion and Russ? Is that it?
I feel like Gilliman, Sang, Russ, Dawn, Manus, Johnson, Khan, Korax. Have I said Vulcan?
You have now.
No.
Yeah, I need to go through them in Legion order, but that'll take two.
But yeah, don't bring any more Primarchs back, because every time you're going to bring a Primarch back, it's going to, take away what makes Gilliman's return so special.
I feel like...
Just bring back Lion, because that doesn't seem too out of the way.
Well, yeah, he's
Johnson and
confirmed
no
alive.
more. Johnson and no more.
Yeah, he's confirmed to be alive, so you actually have an excuse to bring him back. But Khan missing in action, Manus dead, Vulcan got nuked, Sanguinius dead, Korax.
Say that way.
Yeah.
Also, I want to see the podcast talk about Lion and the rage on Lion, and then I'm going to animate Lion again for once.
Yeah, I get the feeling that if Lion comes back, there'll be a lot of... Lion's antics in universe. Never mind everybody's antics.
Oh, that reminds me of something from what's it, War of Secrets, when the Inner Circle of Dark Angels, well, a group of the Inner Circle of Dark Angels goes to these Primarchs saying, "You know too much, but we can't really kill you because you're the only people who knows how to kill these things." Shit.
Yeah.
I know. We're going to make you Inner Circle Primaris. There we go. Problem solved.
Yeah, it's very fascinating because up until War of Secrets, we didn't really know the situation regarding the Primaris, the Inner Circle, the Fallen, whether they were going to be allowed in at all, whether they were going to be distrusted because of their connection to Gilliman and Call.
I just found it absolutely hilarious, though, that a Dark Angel Primaris lieutenant got his ass handed to him by a Kroot. That was just funny.
Yeah. Okay, next question.
Yes, next question. What's your take on the Harlequin Mask of the Frozen Stars plan to help Isha escape from Nurgle's garden by collecting Exodite tears?
Thank you for reminding me of the plan. I'd forgotten. No. Here's all I can say. Given the fact that Isha is so tightly caught in the Garden of Nurgle, and Slaanesh has a claim on her, well, wants one, getting Isha out and keeping Isha alive is just no.
The funny thing is, like, you know, the Eldari are going to get into Nurgle's garden, they're going to get to the cage, they're going to see a goddess inside it, and it turns out it's actually Shalia. See if anyone gets that reference.
I don't.
End times, you know, the Empire's goddess of healing.
Oh, I didn't read the end times. I vaguely knew what happened in them, but I don't remember the end times.
Yeah, that was when they got Kaldor Draco to help him out.
Yeah, if I had read it, I'd have blocked it from my memory.
Michael, you're falling apart here, man. You got to be that instant novel knowledge I always believed you to be.
Come on, it was the fantasy end times at a time where I wasn't playing fantasy. Give me a break.
That's no excuse. Okay, in regards to reflex shield technology, is it used exclusively by the Sons of Corvus Corax, and how common is it seen in the modern era?
So, for those who aren't in the know, what is reflex shield technology?
From what I recall off the top of my head, it's basically like, you know, like a stealth field. They make like a cloaking device, essentially.
Right.
If I recall correctly. I might need to double check, though.
Well, I mean, the Raven Guard were given first dibs on Mark 6 power armor because Perturaba wanted it to fail. And they were also had some unique creations in their locker, I believe. So it's quite possible that it was just their creation and they kept it.
Hmm.
And nobody else just thought to ask.
Yeah, I haven't really read much modern-day Raven Guard fiction apart from Shrike's novel, which was...
I've read...
It was a little underwhelming, but then again, as far as the Space Marine Heroes novels come across, you know, things like, you know, the Cassius novel, the Laertes novel, that was... Yeah, Shrike's one was the best one, and it wasn't even that good.
Yeah, I mean, I've read The Hunt for Voldorius, but that's half White Scar, half Raven Guard, so it doesn't count.
Okay, does fishing exist in 40k?
Almost certainly.
I assume so. I mean, Russ managed to catch a kraken, and then threw it back because it was too small. Right. Question for me. Abaddon versus Megatron, who would win? Which Megatron? There's 10. Though in fairness, he does go down to say, where is it? Maybe the one from War of Cybertron. So the Prime Continuity one, which would be... Well, he did get possessed by the body of Unicron, so yeah, I'm going to go for Prime Megatron. Question, what's the weirdest story for the Primarchs? How about when Ferrus Manus caught a las cannon beam and crushed it?
That still physically hurts me to this day.
It's
As a physicist, hurts me.
He has magical hands, it's fine. I mean,
it's light.
He was
You don't catch light.
He can, because he's a special boy with magical hands. And don't forget, you know, he was Eldrad's first choice to, you know, try and stop, you know, chaos. Then Varys told him to fuck off. Then he went to Fulgrim. Oh, shit, you're possessed by Slaanesh. Then he went to Vulcan. Vulcan was like, yeah, okay. Just reluctantly, you know. He reluctantly became Eldrad's bitch. Not even Eldrad's bitch. She was Eldrad's backup bitch.
I feel like Eldrad... Was he ever on the Cabal? Because if not, he seems like the perfect fit for it.
He was. Then he just basically said to the Cabal, guys, you're all wrong in this regard. This is what's going to happen. No, Eldrad, you're wrong. You're misinterpreting it. No, guys, seriously, you've got the calculations wrong. No, it's fine. We're fine. You're going to destroy the universe. No, it's fine. Right, I'm going to have to kill every single one of you then.
Yeah, I thought he was a Cabal member. I just needed to refresh my memory of how it all went wrong, because obviously the Cabal did side with chaos, quote unquote.
Yeah, and then he basically went to Grammaticus and went, hey, John, your bosses are kind of fucked in the head, right? So I need you to take, you know, this bit of fulgurite, right? And what I need you to do, right? I need you to go up to Vulcan and stab him with it, right? I don't know why I'm Australian all of a sudden, but right. That's basically what happened.
Yeah.
Right. And the last question, is Van Saar tech better than Imperial standard? I think it's more refined, but I wouldn't say it's, necessarily better.
Yeah, it's like, what is your definition of better? Because...
I mean, it looks nicer. It's aesthetically more pleasing. It's sleeker
Does it
and more
work any
efficient.
better?
It kills people just as well as the others. So,
I mean, yeah, okay, it's a little bit prettier, and maybe the odd thing is a little, but that doesn't objectively mean better. It really depends on what your definition of better is and how objective you are being with it. Like, do you break its stats down, like shots needed to kill a mutant in the head, 5 versus 4, or what? It's one of those things.
yeah.
But I will say, Van Saar are like, Necromunda is one of those places where I'm not going to say it's where the canon logic goes to die, but sometimes it plays very loose with what you'd expect from canon, because
Necromunda is just a place where if you go, you will be. It's basically like industrial Australia in space.
True, but what I mean is, I don't mean in terms of what it will do to you. I mean what it does with canon. In terms of like Escher, like flip me, Escher's got some weird stuff going on with it. Van Saar is somehow more in some minds more high tech than the Imperium.
That's because Van Saar's base of operations actually has an operational STC.
And the Mechanicus doesn't know?
Nope.
Oh, Mechanicus are dumb. But you know what I mean? It's like sometimes this just seems like it doesn't fit. I'm not saying it's wrong, I'm just saying it doesn't always feel like it fits.
I just like the fact with the Cawdor gangers that they've got their own little knockoff Guardian spears that literally just attach, razor blades to the end of their auto guns and stick them on a stick.
Yeah, that was quite cool.
I mean, when people are saying, like, oh, these will make great cultists, like, they are cultists. They're cultists of the Emperor.
Yep, basically.
Like, with the Escher, for example, they act the way they do because, for some reason, all the males of House Escher are essentially shriveled up little useless, mentally deficient creatures.
You are being very careful with your words.
Yes, I was going to say something a little more politically incorrect, but...
We got your point.
This is a family show.
Really?
40K, of course. Family.
Yes.
But, yeah. Is that it for questions, then?
Yes.
Okay, so if you do want to leave us a question for next time, whether it's 40k, AOS, or something random and memey in between, do let us know in the comments with the word question. We're not going to get it from Black Library next time, so there's no need to give away spoilers for that, so you're not leaving Black Library related questions, because you do tell us to tell you when we're getting Black Library people on.
Yes.
So yeah, do that, and all the other things we told you to do in the comments, because, we like active comments.
Call Michael Daddy,
Touchdown.
I'm regretting getting you on the show now.
I'm sure next episode's guest will be much nicer to you.
I hope so. But hey, it's fine.
No, she's lovely. That's a little teaser.
Yeah. So, we've done the lore, we've done the news, we've done the questions. Does anybody have a particular rant that they haven't done already?
Well, I've already done my rant about, old models.
You mean the thing that you do every week?
It's because it's damn well justified. I'm also very pissed off the fact that we'll never get another Joe Sahal novel. We need to know what happened after Lord of Night. What happened to Joe Sahal? Please, Simon, please write another book. Please. Okay, I'm done.
Anything on your end?
I have non-40k stuff.
I mean...
is it allowed?
Yeah, sure.
Fuck it. Okay.
Keep it non-political just for the sake of not starting a war.
It's not political. Fortnite!
Oh, fuck Fortnite. Fuck that.
Right,
okay, shit. I'll agree. Shit game. Fix the SMGs. You fix the shotgun. Fix the Okay, that's it. I'm good.
Yeah, thank you. There's the beauty of when you don't play video games, you're in another country. If you watch something take over YouTube, you're just like, why?
Oh no. Also, okay, different thing. Ban every Fortnite YouTube video. Fuck me, they're annoying. God damn. I watch nothing but 40K on the second channel, and I still get recommended Fortnite shit just because I uploaded one goddamn. Okay, I'm good. I'm okay. I'm fine.
Yeah. I don't have a particular rant, but I do want to close with a funny tidbit I came across whilst I was reading the AOS book. This is kind of funny. So it was the story of why there is a day-night cycle in the mortal realms. So the real reason is the realm of light and shadow orbit each other. But according to ogre logic, Gorka Morka ate the sun, got heartburn, barfed it up, and that's why we have a day-night cycle. I just found that one funny.
That's actually really like that.
Yeah, and that's why we have fire belly ogres, because they want to copy Gorka by eating hot things and breathing fire and stuff. Reasons.
Well,
the GW writing, whether it's 40K, AOS, or anything in between, bloody hell, the writing team are good. And with that, I think we come to the end of this installment of Adeptus Podcastus.
Indeed.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure. I know, obviously, we've kind of talked a lot this time out, but it's been good to have you with your opinions and weighing in on various topics.
I mean, it's a 40K podcast where I'm not like a standby for knowledge.
You've spoken more with more knowledge than some guys.
Really? Like, from what I remember, I don't feel like I did.
You'd be surprised. But anyway, thank you very much.
That reminds me, should we get Fresh and Carl back on?
Oh God, no! Not again!
No, get me with that. Get me in that. I want.
Oh God, right. Well, let's PSA then. Episode 50. We'll do that to finish. So,
all right.
Episode 50. Due to technological limitations, we're not going to be able to stream episode 50. Basically, well, I certainly can't, and it's me who's due to host it. So what we're going to probably do is we're going to do an open house lobby like we did for episode 27, the 1 year anniversary. And we will let any previous guests get them all into one Skype group, and then anybody who wants to join and leave as they wish, and it will be hilarious and memey and could go on for ages.
Oh no. I'm gonna have such like a freak out during that, because it's like, again, I feel like a super fan. It's like, all these people are so famous and more popular than me. Oh my God, they make such good content. Oh.
Well, yes, maybe, but that's the plan for episode 50. Unless we change our mind, if we do, we'll let you know. For maybe next time, we'll let you know. But that's the idea, and that is that. So, thank you very much for watching this edition of Adeptus Podcastus. It's certainly been a little bit neater than previous episodes. Certainly a lot less derailment and tech issues, if nothing else. So, thank you very much to Andre for coming on and accepting our invitation. And if you haven't done so already, go check out Animaticus, maybe drop a subscribe and get involved with that, because it is really good fun and we enjoy it. We recommend it.
This is too much.
Yeah, I'll just wrap this up before we explode.
So awkward, God damn it.
Anyway, so thank you very much, guys. Make sure to leave your comments and your ideas about the content going forward, to us about Age of Sigmar and other things, so let us all know. This has been Tactica Imperialis.
This has been Remleiz from 40K Theories.
Andre from Andre Maverick, yes.
And we will see you all very soon. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.